I was in my early 20s, juggling 2 jobs and barely making ends meet. By day, I worked as a cashier at a local grocery store, and by night, I was an OnlyFans creator. The dual life was exhausting, but it felt like the only way to keep up with my student loans, rent, and the rising cost of just being alive. OnlyFans wasn't just a source of income for me. It was an escape, a place where I could curate a different version of myself, one free from the monotony of my real life. Before we dive into the full story, let us know in the comments where you're watching this from. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that challenge and inspire. My content was artistic. I'd turn my small apartment into a makeshift studio, draping fairy lights and arranging props to create a dreamy, ethereal aesthetic. It was less about being explicit and more about self-expression. I'd post pictures of myself in delicate lingerie, surrounded by soft glowing lights, or short videos featuring me playfully posing to music. I felt a sense of pride in the community I'd built, even if it was anonymous. My subscribers appreciated the effort I put into my work, and for a while it seemed like I had struck the perfect balance. But that changed one night when I received a message from a user with the handle Shadow Mask. "Beautiful content," the message began, followed by a generous tip. "You've got an admirer." I responded with a polite, "Thank you," assuming it was just another fan. But something about the way he messaged me felt different. There was a precision in his words, a tone that felt unsettling. He wasn't like my usual subscribers who would compliment my creativity or request custom content. No, Shadow Mask was specific. Too specific. He asked about the lights in my photos, the brand of the sheer curtains visible in the background, and even the faint reflection of a bookshelf in one of my videos. It didn't take long for his questions to escalate. "Do you still keep that blue notebook on your desk?" he asked in another message. My stomach dropped. The blue notebook wasn't visible in any of my content. It was where I sketched ideas and wrote personal notes. I always kept it on my desk. But how could he know that? I tried to shake it off, telling myself it was a lucky guess. But then he sent another message, one that froze me to my core. "Don't bother locking your window tonight." I immediately turned to my window, which was slightly ajar to let in the summer breeze. My hands shook as I slammed it shut and pulled the blinds. My mind raced, trying to rationalize his words. It had to be a coincidence, right? Just a random creepy message? But things only got worse. Over the next few days, Shadow Mask sent more messages, each one eerily accurate. He described the color of my coffee mug, the brand of shampoo in my bathroom, even the playlist I listened to while working out. I began to feel like a prisoner in my own home, constantly looking over my shoulder, double-checking locks, and avoiding windows. I tried to block him on OnlyFans, but he reappeared with new accounts, each more persistent than the last. He started emailing me, attaching photos of my apartment building taken from the street below. In one, my silhouette was visible through the curtains. "I see you," the subject line read. The fear consumed me. I stopped posting on OnlyFans, hoping to make him lose interest, but the silence only seemed to provoke him. One night, I received a package at my door. Inside was a single item, a black mask, accompanied by a note that read, "Wear it for me." I didn't know what to do. The police told me there wasn't much they could do without proof of physical harm. My friends thought I was being paranoid, and even my closest confidant, my best friend Lily, suggested I was overreacting. And then Liam came into my life. Liam was a cybersecurity consultant and a friend of a friend. When I explained my situation to him, he didn't dismiss me or tell me I was imagining things. He listened, and then he got to work. "This isn't just some troll," he said, scanning the messages I'd saved. "This is someone who knows their way around technology, but everyone leaves a trail." Liam introduced me to Deepseek, an AI tool capable of tracking digital footprints, even those left behind by people who thought they were invisible. We spent night after night sifting through data, piecing together clues from the breadcrumbs Shadow Mask had left behind. I was amazed by Liam's dedication. He wasn't just helping me out of a sense of duty. He genuinely cared. I could see it in the way he reassured me when I felt hopeless, the way he stayed up with me long past midnight, and the way he promised me that we'd find whoever was doing this. Finally, we had a breakthrough. Liam discovered a server linked to Shadow Mask through an error in one of the emails he'd sent me. The server traced back to an IP address in a different city. With this information, Liam contacted law enforcement, who coordinated a raid. The hacker was arrested, but the story didn't end there. When they investigated further, they discovered that Shadow Mask was part of a larger network of cyber criminals who targeted content creators, particularly those on OnlyFans. Their goal wasn't just blackmail, it was data mining. They used the personal information they collected to sell identities on the dark web, and their operations stretched across multiple countries, with ties to larger criminal organizations. As the investigation unfolded, I learned that I wasn't their only victim. There were dozens of us, all manipulated, threatened, and terrified into compliance. The revelation was both horrifying and oddly comforting. I wasn't alone. The experience changed me. With Liam's help, I started an organization called Digital Haven, dedicated to helping victims of cyber harassment and educating creators about online safety. I began speaking out, sharing my story to raise awareness, and working to ensure that no one else would have to endure what I did. But even now, I can't shake the feeling that Shadow Mask wasn't acting alone. There were too many unanswered questions. Why was I targeted? Who was really pulling the strings? And what did they hope to achieve in the long run? The darkness of the internet remains vast and uncharted, and though one threat was neutralized, I know there are others lurking in the shadows. How far would you go to protect your privacy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this story gripping, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the digital depths.